this. I was made for this. I was made for this. Building a wall, forming a fire, built for the battle. I was made for this. I was made for this. Mind over matters, silence and doubters. I have the power. I was made for this.
You've lived as if your truth is objective, like a solid, immovable object. That is the way it is, but it's not. And that's why we argue. We argue in politics, in relationships, in business, and in our families. Painfully trying to reconcile, to agree on a single truth when the reality is that there is no single truth. I mean, the truth is not a feeling, and it's the truth whether you feel like it is or not. That's why it's important that you understand and connect yourself with what your particular truth is. You got to face your problems as they come. One by one, give them the attention they need and move on. Bundling them all together into a morass of confusion and letting them overwhelm you just won't help. It takes precision, patience, and discipline of thought. Work through each item pragmatically and with the solution in mind. I want you to be a warrior. Hey everybody, it's Steve Callahan and welcome to One Life Live It podcast, episode 239. I am your host, but more importantly, I'm your friend. And that's what I want you to be. This is a time in the world where we need to be warriors. We need to embrace strength. We need to embrace ownership, accountability. I want to talk to you about the analogy of the warrior in the garden. I love this story. One day, a young warrior was walking to his training when he spotted his teacher, a master warrior, tending to plants in the garden. He approached cautiously and stood quietly, not waiting or wanting to disturb the man from whom he had learned so much. "What is it you want?" asked the master warrior, without breaking focus from the plants. And the student replied, "Why do we train for war? Would it not be more tranquil and serene to be a gardener and tend the plants?" And the master paused, turned to the student and smiled. Tending the garden is a relaxing pastime, but it does not prepare one for the inevitable battles of life. It's easy to be calm in such a serene setting, but it's hard to be calm when under attack. The student nodded and turned away, satisfied with the answer, but the master wasn't finished. It is far better to be a warrior tending his garden than a gardener at war. I love that. I don't want you to listen to that again. It is far better to be a warrior tending his garden than a gardener at war. And I think about that story almost daily, because here's the truth we all know: life is hard. Chaos, uncertainty, failure, struggle, pain, loss. All of those things are a natural part of being alive. They're not good or bad. They just are. And most of the time, you don't get to choose the battles that come to your doorstep. You don't get to pick the adversaries you prefer. You can't negotiate the timing or the terms. There's no time out if you're not ready. There's no holding period if you don't like what you see. The simple truth is that you meet life's inevitable battles at precisely the level of your preparation. The simple truth is that you meet life's inevitable battles at precisely the level of your preparation. That preparation is built upon the hard things that you choose when you didn't have to choose them. That preparation is built upon the hard things you choose when you didn't have to choose them. The early mornings you endured, the focus you engaged, the boundaries you held, the commitments you honored, the difficult conversations you initiated. You know, last night I went to the gym and I worked so hard. But I got to tell you, the hardest part of working was just going. That was the hardest part. It was rain and it was dark and it was miserable. I just wanted to go. But the hardest part was going, making the decision to go. That preparation is built upon the hard things that you choose to do when you didn't have to choose them. The early mornings, the focus you engaged, the boundaries you held, the commitments you honored, the difficult conversations that you initiated. Every single time you embrace voluntary struggle, you prepare yourselves for the involuntary struggle that will inevitably come. You don't become invincible, you become capable. Capable of staying calm when others panic, capable of thinking clearly when things fall apart, capable of leading, serving, protecting, and persisting when the moment calls your name, because one day it will. A loss, a setback, a betrayal, an unexpected blow. And when that day comes, you will not meet the moment at the level of your hopes. You will meet it at the level of your preparation. So choose the hard things today. Choose the habits, the disciplines, the conversations, the commitments. Choose the voluntary struggles. Choose the voluntary struggles. This is how you face the chaos of war, with an internal calm. This is how you become, as Marcus Aurelius once wrote, like the rock that the waves keep crashing over, unmoved, and the raging of the sea falls still around it. This is how you stand ready when the battle arrives at your door. Because remember, it's better to be a warrior in the garden than a gardener at war. It's better to be a warrior in the garden than a gardener at war. One life, live it.